If you've been watching our channel, you already know about this guitar. The new big news from the NAMM show with Taylor Guitars is the Gold Label series. We finally have one of the Rosewood guitars to show you, so stick around. You don't want to miss this. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music in San Antonio, Texas, and you can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and like our videos. And if you want to support this channel, you can visit our spring store link below for custom swag and check out our podcast, the Fretboard Confessional, wherever you get your podcasts. So, new for 2025, a guitar that we have been tight-lipped about since we saw the prototypes. It is the Gold Label, technically an 814E Gold Label from Taylor Guitars. It's a whole new body. It's a whole new headstock shape, a bunch of new stuff, neck joint, sound. Very, very cool. They've been really well received, but up until this point, all we've really been able to show you is the Torrefied Spruce and Koa model that has been very, very well received. They're flying off the shelves, literally. So we finally get a chance to take a look at and listen to the Honduran Rosewood version, which is actually what we originally got to hear when we were at the factory.
Yeah, and it blew us away at the factory. We're big fans, loved it, and this is one of those things that we put the Koa video out, we got that early sample, the comments were mixed, people were really into it, people were a little wary based on how many changes had happened. And so at that point, that first Koa from the video sold very quickly. Chris sold it. Whatever. Didn't get the opportunity.
Has a wonderful home.
It does. But it was one of those things where like, hopefully these take off because we really love them and I hope people like them. This is the last one of like 7 that we got in the last week or so.
Yeah.
They have been flying out the door. And unfortunately, we have been told that it's not going to get any easier to get them.
No.
For a little bit. But I think the initial response, despite some people being like, I love it, it's amazing. Some people saying it strays too far from Taylor tradition, whatever. There's mixed stuff in the comment section, but what really matters is the people that are playing them and the people that have played them have bought them and loved them.
Well, and here's what I'll say. It's a new guitar with an old soul.
Yeah.
It does stray from the Taylor tradition, but you know what makes that okay? They didn't change their entire lineup.
Yeah.
If you like, what Taylor has produced and the sound that they've done traditionally, lots of those guitars are still available and they're not going anywhere. What this guitar really does is it advances some technology and it offers a sound that Taylor hasn't really done. And really, I think it is it's going further down the path that the Grand Pacifics started. Their whole pitch with the Grand Pacifics was a new sound take shape. It was a whole new shape. It was a new sound. And it started going toward this path of taking Taylor and adding to it a sound from vintage recordings, a sound that harkened back more to guitars of the past than the present or the future would be. And so I think they're great. It's a fuller sound. It's got a beefier mid-range to it.
Yeah.
And a lot of that owes to the design choices. So it's a new body shape. It's a super auditorium.
Yeah.
And Taylor, here's one thing I will say. I'm a little frustrated. I get it. I don't get it. So what we saw was a prototype. And when we asked Andy some questions, it was kind of like, yeah, it's a little bit bigger. When I interviewed Andy, which you'll see, it was like, yeah, it's a little bit bigger. The lines are a little bit different. Taylor, in their latest edition of Wood and Steel, actually has the measurements for this versus a Grand Auditorium. And it's different. It's deeper. It's wider than a Grand Auditorium. So it does have different lines, but it is a slightly bigger guitar. In some ways, kind of like a Grand Symphony, but also not quite like a Grand Symphony.
Yeah.
It's got the new neck joint, which I would still love to see more information about. Because
do they have a name for the new neck?
I don't think, not that I've seen officially yet. I haven't seen any detailed drawings or photos of exactly how it works. But
so it's just the new Taylor neck, the NT neck.
it's the new Taylor Powers neck. But the cool thing about it is fully adjustable on the angle on the fly. but maybe the biggest part of it, outside of the aesthetic changes with the headstock and the logo and everything, is the bracing. It's V-Class bracing, but now it actually has a name. They put it on their website, so I'll share it. It's V-Class fan bracing, and it speaks to, once I saw the bracing, it actually makes sense what you and I heard when we were at the factory. Because I remember you sitting next to me playing it, and I made the remark to Andy that the sound's coming from a different place.
Yeah.
And now that I've seen how the top works, it makes sense to what I heard. Because, let me see the guitar real quick. So the V-Class bracing on this guitar is a V-Class to the bridge plate. And then from the bridge plate, it's fan bracing. And that's what allows this to move in a different way. There's actually less rigidity here than on a typical Taylor with V-Class bracing.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of rigidity here still. And so this allows this area to move.
And you were even saying, like,
it sounded like it was coming from here.
Emanated. Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's where it's coming from. But it's still doing it like the original V-Class guitars in a more orderly fashion. And so, you know, you don't hear those wolf notes. You don't hear, like, weird intonation issues. And it's a bigger sound.
Yeah. Bigger body. If you know anything about Taylor naming conventions, you know that ends with a 4. It's a grand auditorium, except on this one.
Except on this one. But everyone just seems to call it a gold label anyway.
Everybody's just calling it a gold label. Just call it a gold label. We'll know what you're talking about. Aesthetically, very pretty guitar. You have the option of natural or burst.
On torrefied spruce.
Torrefied spruce. You have the option of Honduran, Rosewood, or Koa. And I will just say, every Honduran one that we've gotten has been stunning. Every Koa one that we've gotten has been stunning. I don't know if they are specifically choosing sets to kind of...
For the introduction?
Yeah, for the introduction.
I kind of wondered that too.
Or what, but
Get in now.
This looks wildly different than we got 2 Honduran natural gold labels in on the same day. The other one was totally different than this. Totally straight grain, but just a little sapwood right there. Really straight sides and back. But this one is kind of more that Honduran kind of wildness that we really like.
It looks like it's flat sawn.
Yeah, it's pretty. The torrefied is nice. New inlay, new headstock, new logo, same old Goto 510s, but you got the ebony butt. And in true Andy
Not
Powers,
the abbreviation you probably want to go with.
That's whatever. In Andy Powers fashion, got some Ivoroid on there. He loves the Ivoroid.
He loves the classic
Can't
stuff.
get enough. And then your purfling, your rosette, very natural looking, but still
that is
ornate.
Really colorful abalone in there too.
Really pretty abalone. Honduran Rosewood bridge, but ebony fingerboard and new pickguard shape with the reveal of the Ivoroid that is not just inlaid on there. It's tortoise is taken out. You can see it underneath. Meticulously designed guitar.
No knobs there because it's an LR Bags VTC under saddle element pickup.
Yep.
So
that is mounted right up here, which is cool. I like that. And just on top of all the newness, the new neck, the new look, new body shape, is a lovely sound.
It's fantastic. And I know you're a big fan of it. We've kind of, I was asking you which one you liked better. We've had hands-on with both now.
Yeah.
Can you make a choice?
So here's where I'm at is you take the Rosewood one, I would put this up against any HD28, any advanced jumbo.
That's high praise.
That's high praise. Because I'm naming off favorite guitars here, and in terms of a big sound spruce Rosewood, this rolls with the best of them. And it's totally different than like an 814 Builders, which now you do have the Honduran version, but Addy top, Rosewood back and sides, GA. It sounds totally different. It just plays differently. I think this goes up there with, premium, very, very premium spruce Rosewood dreadnoughts and auditorium sized guitars. It's kind of right in between. I think the Rosewood for me is it's a no-brainer. However, then you add on, when I think Koa, I think Taylor. And the Koa version is so sweet sounding and so incredible. They're both great. I'm glad that they're both available. But the choice when we had the Koa, I was like, yeah, I'm still lusting over that Rosewood. But then I got used to the Koa and I loved it. And now I think it's cool because you get 2 flavors of the same kind of new, really nice thing. So I haven't decided yet, but let's take a listen.
All right, so there you have it. Finally, it's the Honduran Rosewood spruce, torrefied spruce version of the new Gold Label 814E, and we're huge fans. I think we're both a little smitten with the guitar. This is a fantastic guitar. I want one. I don't know which one I want. Too. But I don't think either of us is going to get one anytime soon because we want you to get them. And like you said, they are going to be a little bit hard to come by. So unofficial numbers, we were kind of told, is like 1,500 first year.
Max.
And I don't know if that's total for the Gold Labels or if that's per SKU.
I think that's total. What I've been told is that's total.
It's not a lot of guitars either way.
Yeah, not a lot of guitars. And given that we, I think, have sold about 7 so far, we keep adding more on as we sell them. So hopefully they will roll through the year, but more and more people are going to find out about them. More stores are going to be carrying them. And it's going to be hard. However, tell us what you want. We'll get you in line. You'll be the next time.
Yeah, so that was going to be my recommendation. If you really do like what you've heard from either of the videos that we've done so far, I would highly recommend that you pre-order one. Since we have things on order, you can do that, and we basically will take one of the ones we have coming and reserve it for you, and that ensures that when it comes in, you get one. That's how most of them have sold so far. So make sure that if you want one, you get in line. Now, I will say this too. I think this guitar, if you are like a dyed-in-the-wool Taylor fan, but you don't like the sound of it, that's cool. If you do like the sound of it and you're a Taylor fan, I think that's you can like a lot of different things. But who I think this really appeals to is people that love playability of Taylor, but wanted a different sound. They were more akin to a Martin or Gibson vintage sound. This guitar is the thing that you should really spend some time with, because you've said this before. It's got that playability that you expect from a Taylor guitar. It plays fantastic. It's got all the quality that you expect, but it does have a different sound, and you can quantify the sound. It's louder, it's fuller, it's richer, it's woody, it resonates against your body. It's a really good guitar. So
it's fantastic. Solid gold.
I'll take 2, 1 in each wood.
1 in each wood, and an extra 2 each with a burst.
There you go.
All 4.
Gotta catch them all.
You must. Yeah.
If you want more information about any of these guitars, you want to go to our website, which is
alamomusic.com. Go for it. That's fine.
Yeah, that's their website, alamomusic.com. So what we were trying to do is, as soon as they come in, make them available, and if they sell out, make it available as a pre-order. But you can also just message us through the website and ask us any questions that you have of what's incoming next, or just to put your hand up and say I want to be on the list.
Yep. Do it. You won't regret it.
Yep. So, and we are going to, as we have the chance to do so, I want to do some more guitar stuff with these, some comparisons. We've got an interview I did with Andy that will be coming out, and in that he does a comparison, which I really like because he's a really great player. But you hear him compare it to an 814, and you can really kind of capture the differences there. So be on the lookout for that. And you'll know it becomes available if you are subscribed to this channel. So subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos, do all that cool stuff, and let us know in the comments below what you think of the Rosewood versus the Koa. I'd love to hear the consensus out there in the audience. So,
And if we ever have both in stock at the same time, we'll do another.
Yeah, it'll happen eventually. Probably. Hopefully. Someday. So, cool. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.